Sawadee-Kap. May the 23rd. The individual who only does enough work to get by seldom gets much more than by. There is a cause and effect relationship between your actions and the rewards that accrue to you. When you put more on yourself into your career, your personal relationships, when you put more of yourself into your career, personal relationships, your religious faith, and any other aspect of your life, you get more out of it. Yes, I've already had my coffee, but a little dry throat there. There we go. Me. Yeah, me. It's all about me. Your religious faith, your personal relationships. Yes, it's all about you today, or me, because it's usually about me. So when he says your, he means me, or you. In any aspect of your life, you get more out of it. If your ambitions are greater than simply getting by, which a lot of people aren't. A lot of people are okay with getting by. I've always wanted more. I didn't always get more, or work for more, or take action for more, but I always wanted more than getting by. Or what I call it is surviving. Like first you survive, pay your bills, stay afloat, don't drown, and then you thrive. And I was happier when I was thriving than just surviving. Surviving seemed like, why am I alive? Like, what, if I just wake up in the morning, and sit and watch TV all day until I run out of food or the electric gets turned off, like, I didn't see that as being quality of life, So I worked to get more than just that. Getting by is what he's calling it, but really just survival level, basic survival level. If your ambitions are greater than simply getting by in life, you will never be truly happy with your company, your job, or yourself unless you do your best every day. And by doing your best, he means taking action and achieving goals on your way to your big hairy ass goal, which is to get the hell out of the rat race, right? I don't think anybody wants to be in the rat race. And what separates the winners from the losers in that race is the people who try and learn and work and take action to get out, right? Unless you do this every day, your harshest critic and your toughest competitor should be you. There you go. Physician, heal thyself. I don't think he's talked about that, but in general, he probably has at some point. If you spend a lot of time criticizing other people, that's not helping you. Picking apart other people, which is really easy. I know I did a big thing on critics and how they suck, and how critics usually can't do this, like make a movie or write a song, do the things that they're criticizing. So if you become one of those critics, if you focus on other people's shortcomings, that's time wasted. Every minute you spend tearing somebody else down, you could be building yourself up, which is better. And when you want to give back, when you are successful and you want to give back, like I said, a lot of people who have reached their goals, one of their new goals is to help other people. I know a lot of people like that. The way you do that is by showing them the way, not necessarily by, course correcting them or forcing them to do this or forcing to do that. Certainly it's not just giving them money and saying, here, now you're successful too, money that you work for. It's teaching them how to work for it. And that goes back to that old, give a man a fish, he eats for a day. Teach a man to fish, he eats for the rest of his life, right? You want it when you get successful. I think you will find most of us want to teach people to fish. That is a big part of why I do these videos every day. I want to teach people to fish. So, are you learning how to fish? Big fish. Big fish. Whoa. That's the best. You hook a big fish, right? Yes. haven't been fishing since I've been here because I haven't been to the water. Chiang Mai is a really cool place to go if you are seriously thinking about coming to Thailand to check it out, vacation. I would start in Bangkok because, especially now with COVID and the lockdowns and shit, and the quarantine thing should be over next month. We're still in that stupid, now it's 7 days. It used to be 14, then it was 10, now it's down to 7. We're still in that stupid quarantine thing where you have to stay at certain hotels, friends of the government. Oh, I didn't say that. They can get in trouble for saying that. No, there's no friends of the government in one of those hotels. But there's certain hotels that you have to pay a lot of money to stay at, quarantine. They're changing that because it's not working. It's not, obviously people are not coming with the current plan. They can look at the numbers. I could have told them it wouldn't have worked anyway, and who the fuck am I, I buy and sell used cars. I'm a sales guy, right? Who the hell am I? But I could have told them that wouldn't work. People aren't going to come on a vacation here and spend 14 days or 10 days or 7 days in an expensive hotel where they can't leave. It's just not appealing. That's not vacation. It's not what people want to do. You have to really give them freedom and give them, entice them to come back like they were coming back in 2019. They were here. 40 million visitors in a country of 70 million. It's the lifeblood. And the government's saying things like, "Oh, we're going to get away from tourism." Really? You're on one of the most beautiful countries in the world with miles and miles or kilometers of beach and islands and just beauty, and people come here to film movies because it's so beautiful, and you're going to change your mainstream of income from tourism to something else. Okay. Let me know how that works out for you. So anyway, the quarantine thing hasn't worked out for them. Shock of all shocks. And they're starting to open it up reluctantly, they're starting to open it up. So by July, foreigners should be able to fly in here without quarantine. Definitely by the end of the year. Almost everybody I talk to or read, quotes from the money people, and really the money people make all the decisions, right? Golden rule. He who has the gold makes the rules. That's how politics works, unfortunately. Not the wisest leader or the best people to lead us, but the people who have the money lead us. That's reality. So, if you do want to come to Thailand and check it out, this quarter, I'd say this quarter, or last quarter, because it's summer. By fall, you should be able to do that and come and check it out. And I love it here. It's paradise. There's no doubt. It's a very cool place to be. And I'm not coming back anytime soon. My house. I have no desire to visit the United States. I have desire to see my friends again. Like, I would love to jet over there and hang out at the Yellowbird meeting June 4th, right? I would absolutely do that because it's going to be 300, 400, 500, who knows how big it's going to get this year, now that they're doing it again, of people I know. It's going to be a bunch of investors there and realtors and contractors, and, it's going to be the shiznit. So I regret not being there for something like that. That would be cool to go to. But yeah, I talked to the title guy about my rental property. That's going now. I think I mentioned there was nuisance liens from the city. That's how they, government asking us for money again. Imagine that. And what's my buddy DL say? He's a libertarian chair of Jacksonville, and he says taxation is theft. And that sounds like a radical idea, but it's absolutely fucking true. So there is that. So yeah, the government had nuisance liens on the house, and it was a lot. And they negotiated down, the Kyle and company got it down $5,000, but they still want 10 grand. So I'm putting in 5 grand. They're putting in 5 grand. We worked it out. He's a professional buyer. I'm a professional seller. It was going to get done. We just had to see what the number was. And I agreed to, they asked me to split it, and, a hair trigger answer. I didn't even think about it. Yep. Because, I paid $11,000 for that house. So, yeah, I'll sell it for 50 instead of 55. Fuck yeah. So So when that money comes, I mean, on top of the money I got from my house, yeah, life is good. What I was saying about Chiang Mai, I'm sorry. Sure. Let's circle back, shall we? Chucky, right? Jen Psaki. She looks like Chucky doll. Fucking psycho, redhead, wallflower dish rag of a press secretary. Let's circle back. In other words, I don't fucking know the answer. I'm gonna circle back. Chiang Mai. If you come to Thailand, you fly to Bangkok is the way it goes right now, right? Because there's a lot more flights to Bangkok, the capital, than there is to Chiang Mai directly. Back in the day, pre-COVID, you could fly right to Chiang Mai, and that's what I did from Atlanta to Seoul, Korea, Jacksonville to Atlanta, Atlanta to Seoul, Korea to Chiang Mai. But nowadays, the new normal, after the government bent you over and ass fucked you with no Vaseline, fly into Bangkok and then fly up to Chiang Mai. So if you're a tourist checking the country out, check out Bangkok. There's a Golden Palace. There's temples up the ass, big ones. There's floating market. Things different from the States, right? There's tourist shit to do in Bangkok, lots of it. And that's probably the best way to see as much as possible in a short period of time is to book a tour, find a tour. There's plenty of them. They're desperate. They've been out of business for over a year. So there are some left. Find a tour and have them guide you around Bangkok. Bangkok's like New York City. It's fucking massive. So you need a guide to get through there that take you to see all the different shit you need to see. And, just like New York, you go to the Statue of Liberty, Empire State Building, whatever. There's places to see, and a guide can take you there quicker. Then you fly up 1 hour to Chiang Mai. Chiang Mai is the biggest city in the northern part of, right up on the Burma-Myanmar border. And it's a big city too. Think Chicago, right? You're flying from New York, Bangkok to Chicago, Chiang Mai. And this is a good place that if you decide you want to come and live here, everything you need is in Chicago. I mean, if you lived in Chicago, you'd never find yourself saying stuff like you would in Jacksonville or in Minnesota or, worse, Wyoming, South Dakota, Montana, stuff like that. Everything you need is here. It's a big city. There's great hospitals. There's great tourist destinations. You're close to the mountains. My buddy Jeff gets on his bike and goes and drives an hour, 2 hours, and he's up in the mountains and at hot springs and just there's incredible nature up here which you really don't have down south. Down south is beaches and temples and stuff like that. Well, there's temples up here too, but you have nature up here, greenery, mountains, rivers, streams, things like that. Just to get away, get out of the city. It's very easy to do. It's 20 minutes from Chiang Mai. You could be in nature, up a mountain. So I recommend Chiang Mai as a base to go and see the rest of the country, and countries, really. I planned one of these stupid, silly, impotent, incompetent lockdowns, and I plan to go see, more of Vietnam and, the Philippines. I've been to the Philippines, go back to the Philippines, see how it's changed since I was there in the 80s. Cambodia, Laos, just in Japan. Chiang Mai is a great base to see Southeast Asia. And, 2 years from now, 3 years from now, I'll travel back to Europe. I love Greece. I love Holland. I love Italy. So I'll venture out to those places too, again, later on down the road. But first, I want to see more of Southeast Asia, and Chiang Mai is a great base for that. We just got to wait for the silly people in charge to stop doing silly things. So, wear a mask. Don't wear a mask. You don't need to wear a mask. Vaccinate, then you don't need to wear a mask. Well, vaccinate, you still need to wear a mask. Well, no, you don't need to wear a mask. Right? Just stop the fucking bullshit. I mean, Jesus Christ. So, yes, Chiang Mai, look it up on the maps, up north. It's a 8-9 hour drive from Bangkok, 1 hour flight. Totally different world, and it's its own city. It's a different part of Thailand. It's a different culture. Like Italy, Thailand used to be broken up into sections, and this was what they call the Lana, L-A-N-N-A section. So it's completely different people and different dialect and all that than Bangkok and all that stuff down south. So different country up here. great leaping point, great base to go see the rest of Thailand from here. That's why I picked it. So that's it for today. Good stuff again. My boy Napoleon, he's just putting out nuggets. And if you do just enough, you'll get just enough, right? That's surviving, not thriving. If you do more, that's where the thrive comes in. That's where the growth happens above the minimum amount of effort and work and action required. That's a good way to put it. All right, guys, that's it for today. Y'all be good. Have a prosperous day.